just Kale.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's Kale_Sorge, SORGE.
No, so we are live now because the countdown stopped. But we're not. We're on this, not this. So like it's not picking.
Could you do a
or
tester
I don't
so
know.
that we
Maybe
can
it is.
hear like the audio mix and make sure it sounds good and that like Ethan isn't too quiet or too loud?
yeah, we could
Let me get my pregame. I should have gotten like ghost.
I wonder if there's a way, Van Osbury, that you could hold.
It'll take a couple minutes.
Yeah, you're all good. Ethan, just give it a few nice 1-2s. Give it like an example of a loud one.
1 2 1 2. Kale Sorge currently with his phone out and a Diet Coke. A Diet Coke. That dude. He ain't a slow poke. I'm freestyling.
Wait.
Nah, I'm just looking at you.
When you were looking at me, I thought you were gonna tell me to do something. I'm like, wait, what? I was just out of it.
Initiating match.
So welcome back, this is Northwest Esports. We're currently watching Northwest Esports, the Wolves, play against Ames. This is our Iowa Esports Association. My name's Ethan and I'm joined by
Colin
and
James.
So we're in the prepare to attack phase. We have 15 seconds left on the clock. This is a very important time for both teams to decide, well, what's our team composition, what's our strategy, what's our tactic, kind of going into this match. Both teams, they have been instructed to make their profiles public, so they do have quite a bit of data and can make a couple inferences on the other team's play style. Looking at this team comp, does anyone have any insights on what we might be?
It looks like it looks like
We can see here that Wolves have already lost one of their healers, Anna. That is very crucial.
And Judo's also down.
And we're seeing
Although Ames is dropping like flies, and there's a That's cool.
Yeah. Blue is blue.
Are we
Red
Sims?
is
We're getting
Ames.
a little bit of
Wait.
confusion here at the shoutcast booth, if you guys couldn't tell. But just off the bat, we saw the Wolves rush into the midpoint of the map, trying to get. Oh wait.
Yeah, I think we're both are red.
Oh my guys, come on. All right, yeah, as you can see, guys, we haven't hosted. We haven't been not the host. All right, so we saw both teams, including the Wolves, rush into the midpoint, trying to get as much ground as they could, and we saw Ames lose quite a few players. They lost complete control over the midpoint, and now we're seeing them both brawl out. Ames close to the spawn, and we're seeing a lot of comms from the inside, from the environment of the Northwest Esports room, and the tension is palpable, I will say. We're seeing a big brawl here, both teams battling out, trying to get it to the midpoint. Northwest controlling the midpoint entirely, and Ames just trying to grasp at something. They're fully regrouped. They're waiting for one of their players to regroup with them and maybe make a play here. But as far as strategy goes, it looks like Northwest is playing really solidly. They're playing together. Their supports are keeping everyone's health up, and from the looks of it, the battles, they're swaying in the red side's favor.
I guess Ames is now starting to get ready for a push.
They're looking for a push. We're seeing them mingle together, but
Down goes all their healers.
Down goes all the healers, and Wolves are no pushover. They're pushing, making a strategic insertion into the line, and I mean just wiping the entire push. 83% left on the point, and it looks like they might cinch out this round if Ames can't make a final push and try and get control of the point.
We can see that Baptiste being prime here.
Prime here, Kale with the 3K, 1, 2, and 3!
Holy cow.
Oh, but work, they're trying to get back, but I mean, what's even the point? Another 2 kills on the west side.
And there goes the
3,
run.
and objective is secured, and that's 0-1, 1 point for Northwest Wolves. I mean, that was just a stressful round. Both teams played the textbook, right? I mean, Northwest, obviously a very solid offense. Pushing back, they weren't pushovers. And they capitalized on Ames' mistakes, and I only hope that Ames can see the flaw in their strategy and make up for it. But again, prepare to attack phase, 15 seconds left. I wonder if we're going to see any changes in the team comp here.
From last round, we saw that Baptiste being very useful when everybody was in that choke for the Wolves, because everybody was nice and grouped up, and Baptiste has a AoE for spreading their health. We can see the fight starting.
The fight started, we're seeing a big brawl here. Both teams ready to throw themselves into combat, and again, we're just seeing a lot of aggression here from Northwest. They're not backing down. They're confident in their skills, and they're saying, hey, well, if you're going to get in my face, I'm going to do something about it. And we're seeing some kills, especially from Static Egg here. 1 pick, and then retreating back into cover. They're playing very strategically here. Some healers supporting their tank, and looks like they've gotten midpoint under their control.
This new hero hazard being utilized by Ames here doesn't seem to be doing any good.
A big play from Waukee here. We're seeing a lot of support. Ames getting some shots in. I mean, 36%. We're seeing substantial progress on the point here. But these tanks, they're just taking the brunt of the force of the Ames attacks, while the other team members, they're sitting back and they're supporting their tank and making sure that they're not breaking the line.
We can see Reaper trying to get behind Ames here. Doing lots and lots of close range damage here. Ames getting good damage with their heavy.
Big time damage, but again,
goodbye.
another team wipe, and it's a 5K. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I mean, I'm only seeing red on the left and on blue on the right. I can only hope that Ames, you know, they find a little bit more luck here. Now, Now Ames, we're seeing another regroup. They're going to push again. Let's see if they can try and change their strategy again. It's 80 seconds. I mean, are they able to cinch it? Maybe not. Who knows? But we're seeing Reaper, played by Kale, on the other side. Going down, and Ames gets a pick on him. But again, you know, we're seeing a lot of aggression from Northwest. We know again from these previous plays that they're no pushover. But it looks like Blue, Ames, they're making a lot of progress here, and they have control of the midpoint. Throwing it into overtime. May I point out, I mean, 99% left on the clock. They got that pretty much in the nick of time. Now switching roles here kind of strategically in the game. They're trying to hold the same position of the map that Northwest did originally.
Northwest seems to be handling it a lot better though than what Ames was doing earlier. That Junkrat especially.
Now Orisa, a very strong player. We've seen a lot of performance from Static Ape earlier in the game and earlier in the season. Ames looking to fight back, looking to take control and keep what's theirs, but Kale, Reaper just straight in their face, getting a quick pick from Sinstiz. Northwest red, and it looks like they're retreating. They're saying, hey, you know what, we're taking a little bit too damage, let's regroup and attack with the full brunt of our team.
You can see Northwest starting to make their push again after they've regrouped. They have one getting flanked here, trying to kill their Junkrat, but Junkrat was able to escape. We see Orisa getting real aggressive, relying on those heals from their team healer. And that's big damage on Static
getting
low.
Orisa getting low. Coconut Gaming taking a 2K, but it's quickly
followed by another 4K.
And a little
Orisa
comment,
being the, or not.
And it's contested.
And there goes the match. Round 1.
Oh my god.
Now play of the game in Static Ape, I mean, they took that match. Of course, there's going to be more chances for Ames to take back maybe the match and swing the tide of the match maybe in their favor, but for now it's 1-0 in favor of Northwest.
Be quiet.
All right, now going into the second match, 1-0 in favor of Northwest. But a brand new match, a brand new game, potentially an opportunity for Ames to maybe level off the playing field and maybe sway the tide of the match in their favor.
Ready for battle.
Okay, now we've gotten past the Assembles Your Heroes phase, and both teams have picked their team composition. Hopefully, we've seen both teams finally pick their strategies. They have a little bit more data, they have a little bit more information on the opposite team's play style, so we're going to see maybe a little bit more cohesive gameplay.
We can see Ames getting ready for defense here. 7 seconds until Northwest will be attacking. Ames seeming to be hanging back. Might be the play, might not.
Who knows, man? In this game, you know, you can't even predict. It's like stock, you know.
We can see the brawl about to begin. They have not quite attacked each other yet.
Yeah, and
Seeming
unlike a midpoint match, a midpoint game mode where both teams are trying to fight over a single point, we're seeing some players have to attack the payload and take control of it in order to make progress on the map. And they're trying to get to these 3 checkpoints that you can see on the top of the map. Now, the reason that Ames potentially might have waited instead of rushing into the map and gaining as much ground as they possibly could have, like in previous matches, is they wanted to take a defensive position and stop the progress of the payload. Now, you see the payload reversing, they've taken control of it, but as we've seen before, the Wolves aren't pushovers, and we're seeing a lot of aggressive gameplay here.
We can see Ames holding an amazing defensive position here. This is such a wonderful choke point for Ames, and this is very much paying off. We seem to see the Wolves falling back here, getting pushed over, believe it or not.
Falling back. Oh, I see what you did there. They're pulling back a little bit. They're taking a little bit of a retreat, saying, you know, I think we're taking a little bit too damage. Maybe you can compare it to damage control. They're regrouping and saying we're gonna attack this from a different perspective where we have a little bit more power. 4 players pushing up the map, and it's just an absolute brawl. 4v4 really. I mean, 4 guns fighting 4 guns. We see a quick mid-match switch in one of their heroes with a Bastion being played, and we're seeing them mingling a little bit. A face-to-face fight.
Ult.
Lucio popping his ult, Kale pushing into the map, and it's a 1-2-3, 3 kills from the Wolves, but I mean, it's getting balanced out left and right.
Payload being left unattended. Wolves falling back to the payload, finally regaining control of the payload, bringing back up, waiting for teammates to respawn, and Wolves are back together, rallied up.
Back together, rallied up, regrouped, taking control of the payload and making good progress here, nearing the first checkpoint. Let's see if Ames can possibly stop the progress here, but I mean, it's a 5v3 with one of the Ames players frozen. Now it's 5v5, and it's really just a level playing field here, but 1, 2, 3, 4 into the 5. That's 5 kills, nearly a full team wipe, and there we go. That's the last frag to make it a team wipe, making it to the first checkpoint, and that's massive progress. That was huge for the Northwest side. Now,
Adding time to the payload.
Adding time to the payload, and with the next checkpoint in sight, they're making progress already. Ames regrouped, all of their team players respawned. 2 of their ults ready. It's not like Northwest, I mean, they found themselves in a favorable position, but it's not like Ames is completely helpless here. They're talented players, they're skilled players. But we're seeing a lot of cohesion on the Northwest side. I think we're seeing a lot more team gameplay on the Northwest side. and they're playing it to the book, right? They have their supports up in front taking the brunt of the damage, and then the support players in the back healing them, making sure that, hey, you know, some of our more lower HP players, they're not taking as much hits, they're not dying on the rip, and instead it's our support players, the tanks in front, if you will, that can recuperate from those damages. Now, big kills here on the feed here.
Almost a team wipe.
Don't worry about it.
No, don't worry. I can sprint.
Looks like they're getting good percentages on the payload right now.
And I mean, they've taken full control of the payload. I mean, they're just breezy, easy, riding in the 6-4, getting to the second checkpoint, but all of a sudden it stopped. It's not looking so possible for Ames. They've thrown themselves right into the middle of combat, and they're getting a few kills along the way, but it's a 4v2 with one of their higher HP players taking the brunt of the hit, and it's another pick.
Nearly a team wipe, once again by the Wolves.
And now they're finally getting past the third checkpoint, or the second checkpoint.
Second checkpoint with the third checkpoint in sight. It's just the final home stretch here, and Ames only has a couple seconds, or you know, a few minutes at most, to try and stop the payload. Now, a little comment here on the environment of the actual esports room. It's pretty tense in here. You know, you'd think from this performance maybe it might be a casual match room, but that is absolutely not the truth. It is a very close and hard match here, and it just seems that the Wolves are cinching out on top. We're seeing some good communication, some good team comms here, and a lot of concentration. These players are playing at their tip-top shape.
Ames trying to get out of their spawn, but being suppressed so heavily by the Wolves.
And it's 1 into the 2. That's 2 kills for the Wolves side, but Ames looking to recuperate a couple of their losses. Lilypuff getting a nice little pick there.
And there goes round 1.
Round 1's complete,
Reaching
the
towards
third
the
checkpoint.
Score.
Now that's 1-0 for the... Oh, wow. Oh, each checkpoint is a point, apparently. I don't know how I didn't know that, but it's 3-0 for the Wolves. 24 seconds left on this first phase of the round. And again, I mean, it's an important time. Both teams strategizing, regrouping, getting a little... What do they call that when you all put your hands on each other's shoulders and they're like, guys, what do we do? A huddle?
Oh,
Is that
huddle.
a huddle? Yeah,
Huddle.
they're like a virtual huddle in Discord. 3 seconds left, and now the players are about to spawn, getting ready. 40 seconds left on the clock before all the dogs are released from their cages and getting into a big fight. Let me say that. Just be casual. Yeah.
We can see Wolves preparing the same choke point that Ames did. Seems to be the meta for this map.
Yeah, they're preparing a little bit of a choke point, a little bit of a bottleneck, saying we're going to set up this guy here and this guy here behind this rock, using cover and using the map to their advantage. They have kind of a home field advantage, if you could say that, being able to prepare themselves before the Wolves get released from the pen.
We can
but
see
it's
Widowmaker already going down. Doomfist blocking as much damage as he can.
And it was a little bit of a trade there, and now we're seeing a little bit of a contesting point, a line, if you will. A 4v, looks like 4, yeah, a 4v4. 8 players on the map, but both sides getting their spawn back and getting another player back on the field, another gun firing.
Ames
Kill.
getting some good space here. Working hard for that space though. Losing their heroes left and right.
Yep, it's certainly a tough fight. We're seeing quite a few kills on the leaderboard. That's big for Northwest, and it looks like the Ames push was just a little too, should I say, uncoordinated. That sounds a little mean, but when you're playing against esports players like the Wolves, I mean, these guys are committed. Am I being a little too biased? I mean, I've said it again. Ames is being really, really strong here. It's just really hard, you know, when you're in the heat of the battle, when you're in the thick of it. Shout out to KSI. Uh, when you're in the thick of it and you're trying to concentrate, when you're in the middle of the battlefield, it's a lot harder to strategize on the go than we're seeing here. We're having a lot more information from this free cam perspective, but when you're in just a first-person POV, only being able to control what you have on your screen right now, it's a lot more difficult than it really seems.
And you can see that difficulty coming into play with Ames nearly getting fully team wiped, all the way down to their healer.
We're getting a couple comments about the shoutcasters from the teams here in the Northwest Esports team, but you know what? That's okay. We're going to keep doing it.
We can see Ames getting split up. Their Junkrat all the way back behind the Wolves, instantly getting taken down.
Taken down 5 Northwest players on the map. They've set up this choke point, and it looks like we're not really getting much progress from Ames. And you really got to ask yourself at this point in the match, you're talking to your IGL, you're talking to your teammates while in the middle of a gunfight and saying, guys, I mean, what can we do better? Look at the whole strategy as a whole and say, what tactics can we change? Can we change up our team composition? Can we get some new heroes in here?
See Lucio ult coming into play here, and Wolves pushing with that Lucio ult, being very big, nearly team wiping the entire
huge aggression from the Wolves. And every time it seems like we're seeing a little bit of progress from Ames, the Wolves just pull out some sort of different tactic here. Let's see if we can analyze that. So they're going back to the choke point, pushing the payload back, using cover, using the map to their advantage, using their home field advantage, something that they're finding themselves in a favorable position. But it looks like Ames pushing back here, and they have to retreat from the choke point. The team comms are saying, move back, let's retreat, and let's find another choke point to hold. But we saw a couple frags there.
Northwest losing their heavy. That was a very big kill by Ames, forcing the Wolves to fall back very, very far, back to the catwalk up there.
Yep, and they're finding the catwalk as another bottleneck, another choke point to use cover. And when they finally saw the Ames in their sights in a vulnerable position, they spring out from the catwalk, and we're seeing an absolute brawl. It's a 3v3 with JC getting 2 kills, and it's a 2v1, and they finally get the cinch out, and it looks like that's game for the Wolves.
Waukee Northwest coming out on top of Ames.
On top with a 2-0 in the overall match. A great round, a very fun one to watch. Ames, probably not doing as much as they hoped, but from what I can see here, they're doing pretty well. It's just hard to play against Northwest when they have so many skilled players. But Ames, I really do think that they can...
It's like overall, there's only like first strikes.
So locking in for the mid-game commentary, 2-0, we're seeing 2 matches for Northwest. They have 2 points, and if they win this next match, then they just completely take the game. Now this is a little buffer time for Ames to sit down without the blazing guns in their face and ask themselves, what can we change, what strategies and tactics can we change, maybe adapt to Northwest's play style to maybe perform a little bit better. I think Northwest, they were doing great. They were using the choke points and strategically moving back, regrouping and getting all of their gun power in the fight, and then saying spring out, ambush, and take all of the kills that they can before retreating again. It's like getting stabbed in the back and then looking behind you, and there's nothing there, right? we could see Wolves being a little chaotic, but yet they still stuck together. Got great heals from the healers. The heavy playing amazingly well, getting excellent support from the healers, and damage is doing their job by getting those kills, getting all that damage in, and heavy's taking all the damage that it can, protecting the support and damage players.
Yeah, big time. And honestly, you know, we're seeing a lot of performance from Northwest, but it's really not all that simple. I mean, the pressure builds up, and honestly, when you're in an esports team like this, I mean, you have 10 hot computers running, the environment around you. I mean, I'm burning up here right now, and I'm just shoutcasting. I'm not even playing. So, I mean, we can only imagine what the players are going through, and we can only hope that Ames somehow finds a new strategy to maybe up their performance a little bit.
We go into the next game, new map, new Queen Street for a robot escort match. Push match.
Okay, let's see what these teams are gonna be picking.
They got 20 more seconds.
All right,
got their heroes. It's nice and calm. Ames, hopefully working out their team comps for this game.
Are we in Canada right now?
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, this is, I mean, a little side note, but I mean, the map design here is actually really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada is a pretty pretty country. See what I did there? Anyways.
We can see the teams get ready.
You can see the teams getting ready here. Looks like for Northwest we have Casey, Juno.
3, 2, and 1. All the players pushing out from the gates, trying to gain as much space as they can than the other team. They're trying to get a head start here. And now we see both teams connect, and all of a sudden we're seeing a huge brawl on the map.
Great play by May, blocking the Ash, blocking the Ash. Somehow Ash lives from that.
And
Mercy going down.
Now we're seeing the robot push on Northwest. Holy crap! The Northwest Wolves, the school that I currently attend. It's pushing in their favor. Now we're seeing Analysis guarding that robot, and we're seeing 4 players attack 1. Now the optimal play for Ames right now would either be to contest it, just to throw themselves into the midpoint, or regroup with all of their firepower and try and push again and get as many kills as they can and see if they can control the robot. Northwest setting up a defensive position, using the buildings, using the map, using the cover to their advantage. They've effectively taken the home field advantage for themselves.
Ames regrouping, not fully, but they are trying to do as much as they can to contest the objective for the Wolves. Yep, getting real low in the process.
Big time. We're seeing a concentration of Ames, but as we can see, it's 1, 2, 3 into the foe. Kills and 5 kills, 3 from Static Ape. And that's a team wipe. That's a push wipe.
This is very big in Robot Escort because they just can keep going on that robot, and they won't have an issue while fighting because the robot will just keep on walking as long as they stay near it.
Now we're seeing both concentrations from both teams. It's a full team battle in the middle point of the map. It's another 5 kill. That's huge on Northwest side. And
likely
Ames gets
ending
a push
the
wipe.
game here. And there goes the round. And there goes the
GG's.
entire game.
That's GG's. That's Northwest wins the match, I believe. That's a third match for them. And play of the game goes to Static Ape on Northwest side as Ramatra. I mean, just quite a few kills here. That's huge.
Great damage as well, all around.
Big time. Now, I mean, post-game commentary. I mean, we saw a huge cohesion in the Northwest players. The Wolves, I mean, they were playing together, regrouping, retreating, hitting, stabbing from the back, and then moving away. I mean, it's a team game, and they played it by the books. They took that name very literally, and we saw a great performance from them. I mean, that's GG's. Ames put up a great fight, but that's another win for the Wolves.
Now we're going 3-0.
Yeah,
Next round.
big time. Thanks for watching, fellas, and
See you next time.
See you next time.
see you next time. Yeah.